What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is September 12th of 2025, and we have made it to Virginia. We aren't done the drive yet, but this is a stop along the way. This is the Cow Pasture River, a pretty remote section of river here in Virginia, but a couple sections of it back up to state forest that you can access. And there is one shiner in here particular that we are after, and that is the roughhead shiner that can only be found in this river and its tributaries. It used to be found elsewhere, but its range has shrunk significantly due to pollution and invasive species, or introduced species I should say, like the telescope shiner. So I already see some fish around. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of our targets or not, but I'm going to flip some of the rocks here and see if I can find a good piece of bait, and then we're going to get after these shiners. So I'm going to try and keep the video clips relatively short just because I have to fit a whole week's worth of footage onto one SD card, but hopefully I can capture some good shots for you guys. All right guys, I just captured a shiner here. He escaped. I'm going to keep him in the net and try and ID him real quick. I don't know if this is the one we were after or not. This could be a telescope shiner, which would also be a new species for us, but let me take some shots and see if I can confirm. All right, let's try that again. See if I can get something else. Oh, I just had one. I think my bait got stolen. Got one. This one looks a little bit bigger. Let's see. Oh, it's a satin fin shiner, it looks like. One of the cyprinellas. Do you have any white on your tail? Yeah, just a satin fin shiner. Boring. Alright, action has been pretty slow. I moved down to a swifter section of water, and I've seen some fish here, but I haven't gotten many takers on the bait, and now my bait is stolen. I saw one darter, and I caught one small chub that's either a bluehead chub or a bull chub, I believe. Most likely it's just a bluehead chub, but I'll get a second opinion. If it's a bull chub, it's a new species, but we shall see. I'm gonna keep at it. I plan to hit one more spot before I have to check into the hotel room, so hopefully that'll treat us a little bit better. I think the shiner we did catch that wasn't the satin fin was a telescope shiner, so that'll hopefully be what I think it is and be a new species, but I haven't found the roughhead shiner that I came after here. All right guys, we have made it to our second spot. This is Sinking Creek, Virginia. I was not able to find the endemic roughhead shiners at the last spot I was at, the Cow Pasture River. Instead, I found hordes of what I believe to be telescope shiners, but I just sought after some second opinions on that, so we'll see what happens there. And at this spot we were going to be looking for sculpin species, particularly the Kanawha sculpin. There's also mottled sculpin in here, but I already have mottled sculpin on my list. So yeah, we're going to see if we can find one of those guys. Secondary objective here, there is western black-nosed dace here, and there is rosefin shiner as well. I may have already caught a rosefin shiner on the way down. So here's a picture of that. That is still pending ID, but it does not look like any of the shiners I've caught in the past. It is a small one though, so it'd be fairly hard to ID, but we'll see. Yeah, let's start looking, see what we can find. All right, so I'm carefully scanning the bottom right now to see if I can see any sculpin. They blend in very well, so it kind of makes it difficult. But they should be in here. Oh, here's a sculpin. He attacked the bait like 3 times and missed it. Oh, he had it. Got him that time. Get in the net. Alright, now we need to take pictures of this guy to confirm his ID. If there's no markings on the dorsal and some other things, it should be the one we're after. Of course, when I have a potential new species in hand, the sun just completely goes away. I think this is the sculpin we were after. There's not really the orangish blotches on the dorsal there. And it looks like they're kind of separated a little bit. So I think this is the species we were after, the Kanawha sculpin. I will confirm that, but I think that's the one we're after. All right, just to be confident, I'm going to try and find and catch another sculpin. Problem is the sun disappeared as soon as I caught that last one. There's a big cloud right in front of the sun, so that can make things difficult, but we're gonna keep trying. Then next target will be black-nosed dace if we can find one of those. I just stirred up like a bunch of sediment here, but there was some black-nosed dace right here. Where'd that big one go? I don't think this is a black-nosed dace. What do we have here? Oh, blunt-nosed minnow. Boo! We don't want the blunt-nosed minnow. I already have this species. There's definitely some black-nosed dace right here though. Got him. Alright, pretty certain I was recording. Now, based off range, this guy should be a western black-nosed dace. It pretty much looks like an eastern black-nosed dace, but I think it's a western just because it was caught here. At least the other black-nosed dace in this area are observed as western black-nosed dace. Alright, so last look at our black-nosed dace there. Again, I think this should be a western black-nosed dace at this particular area. So that would be a new species for me. Probably my 5th new species of the day, maybe. So we're gonna go ahead and let this guy go now. All right, we got a juicy piece of bait loaded up. There's a tiny sculpin there, but I don't want to target the tiny ones. They're gonna be a pain to ID. I want either a big sculpin next or a juicy black-nosed dace so I can confirm the idea on that as well. Let's see what gets offered next. I saw a few darters around, but as far as I know, it should only be fantail darters at this particular location. So I wouldn't really bother with those too much since I already have them on my list. There's a cool looking fish down there. I didn't know what it was though. Right now I'm just dragging a piece of caddisfly along the bottom. See if I can get any strikes. There's a fish, black-nosed dace. Hopefully didn't swallow the hook, that would be rather unfortunate. Definitely a better size one than that last one we got. And he did not swallow the hook, so that's great. Alright, go ahead and let him go. There we go. Black-nosed dace unhooked. He's gonna flop back in the water. 98% certain that's a western black-nosed dace. Alright guys, I spotted another sculpin here. This one looks similar in size to the last one we caught. Oh, he inhaled that thing as soon as I put it in front of him. He didn't connect with the hook though. He's attacking this wood shot now. There we go. In the net we go. This one looks more like a mottled sculpin than the last one did. Take some shots. Alright, well, last look at our sculpin here. This one honestly also looks like a Kanawha sculpin the more that I look at it. Doesn't look like it has too much orangish pigmentation in the dorsal fin. Looks like the dorsal and the apodose fin there are separated. And it does have chin mottling, which mottled sculpin should not have. So I think it's a Kanawha sculpin, but I will get confirmation. All right, with that catch, I think I'm going to head out of here and check into my hotel. This spot is only a 30-minute drive from where I'll be staying, so not too bad. I can come back here if need be. But we're gonna make our way to the hotel, check in. I may do some night fishing later, may not really sure, but we'll see.